Hello students, a warm welcome to all of you and good morning to all of you who joined through online. So friends, as a part of our Anthropology PYQ series, so let's try to just revise the rules of the game, so rules of the challenge. So we were trying to just do and we were trying to solve and learn one PYQ one day. So that's the major aim of this particular objective. So as a part of that, so let's begin today's series, today's lecture, and there let's try to have one question for today. So as we were discussing, so we were just doing with the UPSC Civil Services Examination 2025 paper, so where we picked Anthropology Paper 1. So from there, the question of the day is theoretical significance of Purum Kinship system. So Purum Kinship system is one thing that is we were discussing, right? So let's try to understand this in a systematic fashion, right? So, so student is texting for it out, so we'll discuss it at the end of the class, okay? Then, let's proceed with this Purum Kinship system. So, if you see from the perspective of this question has been asked from the perspective of the descent and alliance theories and from the kinship system. So it is a beautiful blend of several topics. One is with respect to the ethnographic studies of the tribes, and second one is with respect to the concept of alliance and descent theories that you study in descent groups in kinship. So that's the basic aspect from where the question has been picked. So first of all, let us try to look into the aspect of the approach to the answer. So how you can address this particular question. So that's one thing that we can see. So if you see here the approach, what you have to write in the introduction. So first, if you see from the perspective of the introduction, so in the introduction, you can introduce the answer by highlighting the basic details about the Purum tribes. That means, what about their geographical distribution, what about their significance, and who have done significant studies, ethnographic studies on the Purum tribes. So all such details you can provide. So there, simply to say, we can give a basic ethnographic background of the Purum tribes. So that's how you can start. And in the introduction itself, you can indicate what is the nature of their kinship system. So that is one thing that you can do there. So if you see, the kinship system among the Purum tribes is very unique because it has something that is known as the bilateral cousin marriage system and a circulatory alliance pattern. So this is a unique system that we can see in the Purum tribes. So that's where the question has been picked. So in the introduction itself, you have to talk about their unique kinship system. So that's one thing. Then, if you see from the perspective of the body, so what you have to write and what you have to mention in the body. So in the body, as the question is asking about the theoretical significance. So what do you mean by theoretical significance? Theoretical significance means to what extent the available information about the Purum kinship system helps in understanding the concepts of anthropology. So contributions of the Purum kinship system to the anthropology. So that's what we can understand as the theoretical significance, right? So what you can do first, you can systematically mention and explain the structure, nature, and features of the Purum kinship system. And there, you can adapt the point format. So in the point format, what you can do, you can keep appropriate subhead, and for each appropriate subhead, you can mention it in 1 or 2 lines. So that's how you can proceed. So that's how you can make up your body. And then, if you see, in the conclusion, you can summarize by providing its anthropological significance. And you can also provide the analytical value of the Purum kinship system. So this is how you can keep your approach. Is that clear for you? So this is how you can introduce and you can go to the body portion of the answer. So that's one thing. So I hope I'm clear to you. Now, friends, let us move further and let's try to understand about the answer for the question, where let us try to put an effort where we can see the best way of writing answer for this particular question. right? So now, if you see from the perspective of the Purum kinship system's theoretical significance, so how you can keep your answer? So the best way that you can keep is that, as I have said, you can introduce the answer by giving the basic details about the Purum tribes. So who were Purum tribes? So Purum tribes were nothing but one of the tribes belonging to Manipur region, that is northeast. In northeast we have some tribes called as Purum tribes. So there, these Purum tribes belongs to the Tibeto-Burman linguistic group. So we have classification of tribes. In that we have Tibeto-Burman group of tribes. So Purums belongs to the Tibeto-Burman group of tribes. And why they are well known? So they are very well known for their unique and highly structured kinship and marriage practices. So that's where the question has been picked. So we have to use it in the introduction itself. And if you see from the perspective of the ethnographic accounts, so originally the Purum tribes have been ethnographically studied by J.H. Hutton. So Hutton's classification of the races, I hope you might have studied that. So J.H. Hutton, and later the Purum kinship system and marriage system has been systematically analyzed by Claude Lévi-Strauss. So Lévi-Strauss and Hutton's contributions with respect to the ethnographic study you have to mention in the introduction itself, so that you can give a tinge of scholarly answer to your answer. That's one thing. So what does they do? So Purum system provides a classical example of the alliance theory in practice. So friends, try to recollect what's there in the descent theory. So descent. So there were two theories. One is alliance theory and other one is descent theory. So alliance theory has been systematically proposed by Claude Lévi-Strauss. So Purum kinship system as well as the marriage and alliance system is a classical example of the alliance theory of the descent group. So that's one thing, right? So then, if you see what are the key features of the Purum kinship tribes. So what are the key features? So first thing, the entire Purum tribe has been systematically organized into 6 clans, which can be also called as phratries. So phratry is a descent group. So there are 6 clans. So one is Lyra, other one is like Masang, and other one is Keang, other one is like Mangshel, Nara, Thao. So like that we have different clans. So altogether we have 6 clans or 6 phratries. So each clan or each phratry is a marital unit within that particular tribal group. So what they will do here, so they will follow a kind of circulatory marriage alliance pattern. Circulatory marriage alliance pattern means we have 6 groups of phratries here, 6 clans here. So 6 clans, like each clan, what they will do, marriages will follow a fixed cyclical pattern where each clan gives women to one and receives women from another. So that means, let's say for example, we have Lyra. So Lyra just gives women to Mansang, and Mansang will again give back to Lyra. So like that, there is a kind of cyclical fixed pattern of marriages. So that is one thing. So what is the significance of this? So the significance of this kind of cyclical marriage pattern is that it creates a continuous circle of reciprocal alliances among the clans. So that's where the significance starts. It forms a kind of cyclical alliances marriage pattern. That's one thing. And what about their marriage rules? So what would be the nature and rules of the marriage? So in the rules, we have different rules, like let's say preferential marriage, or proscriptive rules, or prescriptive rules. So we had different 3 types of rules of marriage. So here, it's a kind of preferential kind of marriage rule they will follow. So where they will have the bilateral cross-cousin marriage practice. Bilateral cross-cousin marriage. That means how they prefer usually means they will pick the mother's brother's daughter mother's brother's daughter. That means uncle's daughter. So maternal uncle's daughter would be the preferred choice of the marriage. So that's why we are calling it as cross cousin, particularly the bilateral. Bilateral means to and fro. So they will give the daughter and they will have the daughter, like that. So that's how. So wives would be means marriages would be done in cross cousin marriage pattern. So that's one thing. And what does this ensures? What is the significance of this kind of bilateral cross cousin marriage practice? So it ensures reciprocity and stability within the tribal community. So with this kind of marriage practice, so the tribal group will become more strengthened. Tribal group will become more stable. And it also ensures a kind of reciprocity. So one wife has been brought from another clan and one wife has been given to another clan. So that's how, so stability of the group will be maintained. So that's the significance of this particular marriage kind of system. And then what about the descent and kinship systems? So descent and kinship terminology with respect to that. So the descent is patrilineal there, and the kinship terminology follows bifurcate merging type of kinship system. Kinship terminology. So you should remember this. So in kinship terminology, you have to learn about different types. So bifurcate and merging type. So that's one thing. So distinguishing between parallel and cross cousin. So they will bifurcate and they will merge. So where all the parallel cousins and the cross cousins would be separated. All the parallel cousins will be given one name, and all the cross cousins will be given other name. So that's how we will call it as bifurcate and merging type of kinship terminology. Then what about the social significance? So entire Purum kinship system, it promotes social cohesion among themselves, and it promotes the alliances among themselves, and not only that, it also provides balance within the small tribal population. So that's how it has a kind of good social significance. So that's one thing that you have to keep in mind. Is that clear for you? Now, how can you conclude this particular answer? So when you see, the Purum kinship system exemplifies a well-structured network of alliances and reciprocity. Alliances and reciprocity. So they follow the bilateral cross-cousin marriage system. So alliances would be made and reciprocity. So taking and giving. So that's all. What does this reflect? This reflects the principles of Levi-Strauss' restricted exchange practice of the marriage, where he was talking this aspect in the alliance theory of the descent groups. So that's one thing. And it is also highlighting how marriage functions as a social contract, ensuring cohesion and continuity in the tribal society. So that's what you can remember. So that is another important aspect that you can get from the Purum kinship system. So that is one thing you can have it. So that's the basic understanding. That's how you can just mention. And what are the key learnings from this? So friends, first and foremost thing, if you see, so what you can learn. So if you see the theoretical significance of this Purum kinship system further, and if you explore more and more, so it's a classic case study of the debate between the alliance as well as the descent theories. So that's one thing. And then it's a kind of living example, and it's a kind of living laboratory for the prescriptive marriage practices. We can see the bilateral cross-cousin marriage. It's an example for the prescriptive marriage practice. And then further, we can have another important significance that it is shaping the alliance theory in a systematic fashion. So marriage is like it has been systematically formed through alliances. So that is one thing. So then further, it is also acting as a testing ground for the descent as well as alliance theories. So it is strengthening the alliance theories. So that is one thing. And in other ways, it is also illustrating a kind of social cohesion between the among the tribal society. So that's what you can have it. So this is all with respect to the Purum kinship system and its theoretical significance. So I hope it is clear to you. So friends, you can get this model answer and you can get the further support from my side. So if you want to write the answers and share it for evaluation, so you can share to me through the Telegram channel. So you can just type Anthropology Guide in the Telegram channel, so where you can find the channel and you can join the channel. And you can also join the channel through this link, or you can scan this particular QR code, and there also you can join. So from where you can get the model answer and other supplementary material that you want to have it. So that's one thing. So apart from this, so what you can just have it means, so in simple manner to say, so here you can see some of the there can be an ethnographic account also you can have. So I'll be providing this document also in the Telegram channel. So you can get this ethnographic account on the Purum tribe, so which has been done by Claude Lévi-Strauss in the year 1949 through his analysis, that is the elementary structures of kinship. So in his work, he has done that. So I'll be providing you this document also, so where you can see here. So these are nothing but the Purum tribes. So young boys and girls in traditional Purum attire. So this is how the Purum tribes will look like. So another important aspect that I would like to bring to your notice is that why these Purum tribes were in use and why it has been picked in the UPSC question. So actually thing is that the Purum tribes were also currently known as the Chote tribes. So Chote tribes of Manipur. So the Chote tribes of Manipur were previously or formerly known as the Purum tribes. Now, if you see, they are one of the widely discussed and debated tribes of India, not only signifying the international relevance, but also for various aspects. So why they are just debated means because of the changing identity and the practice of clan-based cross-cousin preferential type of marriage system. So this bilateral cross-cousin marriage system, only because of this bilateral cross-cousin marriage system, so their kinship system has been differently arranged. What do you mean by kinship? Kinship refers to the type of relationship that you have with your family members. So that's one thing. So this is where they were in use, and that's why the question has been picked and the question has been given. So these were the Purum tribes. So where they can see, they can be seen in Manipur. So this is one another thing that I wanted to share with you. And then, like, you can get the model answer for this particular question also in the Telegram channel. So you can have the model answer. I'll be providing model answer like this. So if you are unable to just write the answer, so at least get the basis of it and try to answer the question, right? So that's all for today from my side. So like there was a question that has been asked by student. So Pragnya is asking a question. So what's the question? So I have a doubt from yesterday's question. So she's saying that when we are discussing about the Mendelian and non-Mendelian inheritance, can we write 1 or 2 points about the Gregor Mendel or start directly? So absolutely a very good question. So Pragnya, we have already discussed yesterday that in your introduction itself, you have to start by introducing the Gregor John Mendel, because Gregor John Mendel is being regarded as the father of classical genetics, and there he has systematically introduced 3 laws of inheritance. So this is how you have to just begin your answer. So in the introduction itself, you can mention about the Gregor John Mendel. So what is inheritance? And there were 3 important laws which has been related to inheritance. So those laws have been fabricated or designed by Gregor John Mendel. So that's where you can introduce the answer. So if you use it in the introduction, you will get more credence, because we are talking about Mendelian and non-Mendelian traits there. So if you introduce about the Gregor Mendel, it gives more credence and scholarly look and touch to your answer. Is that it clear? So I hope. So it's addressed to you. So that's very good to see. So you can just join the Telegram channel, as I have said, and you can get all other support. So if you have further doubts, you can just communicate all of your doubts that are there with you in the Telegram channel discussion also. So that's all for today from my side. Friends, in tomorrow's discussion, let's join at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow and let's come up with the next question. So keep tracking the UPSC Civil Services Examination 2025 paper, so where we'll be proceeding with the next question, right? So thank you all of you for joining the discussion. So thank you all.